All right, ladies and gentlemen, it's your favorite Studio One user, right? Um, I've been kind of messing with Cubase a little bit because I want to kind of expand my DAW horizons a little bit. Now, I've dabbled with Cubase in the past, more so for like recording vocals over two tracks, kind of anything in that ballpark, right? But I noticed there were some people that make beats in it, and I was like, man, let me see, what all capabilities this thing has. And I've been watching people for a couple years now, and I had seen that Cubase has had some really cool features to kind of get you into the whole producing side of things, which I thought was really cool. And I'm just talking about things that come stock with the program, to where you do not have to have all the extra stuff like we would add inside of, for instance, FL Studio. You see people that got Keyscape. You see people they've got different samplers. You see people and they're like trying to warp audio inside of Ableton because they're trying to do like some crazy boom bap thing or something like that. Anyways, long story short, I've been kind of making beats and off and on for a little bit, trying different things out. Sometimes I'd get stuck on something and I'd have to like research how to do it. Um, I kind of want to make more tutorials for different DAWs for people that want to get into making music, whether that be FL, whether that be Cubase, Studio One, which I love making beats in currently. And I feel like I've kind of got my own little setup in there to where I can have a fast workflow, thanks to a lot of tutorials on YouTube. But without those tutorials, I would have been lost. Same thing when I started making beats on FL. I didn't know what the hell I was doing, and I basically was just following all these different people. So I kind of want to set up tutorials for people to where they can say, hey, this is straight to the point, not a whole lot of BS talking, and we can just get straight to, making music, right? So today, what I wanted to show you is the problem I was having, which was setting up my hi-hats to where I could get it to where it's every other note. And if you look right here on the screen, I've already done that. But what we're going to do is we're just going to go ahead and reset all that with our velocities. So if do this, just bring them all, right? What this is called here is our lower zone in Cubase, right? Yes. If we actually come here, we click on MIDI key editor. Alright, bring that. Oof. Alright, made that a little too big on my screen. I apologize. Alright. Let's just make it full screen. So you're going to bring up this thing called a key editor. What you're going to want to do, if I'm not mistaken, you're going to want to highlight this, come up here to MIDI, and we're going to click on our logical editor. We're going to apply preset. You're going to scroll down to where you see select, and we want to select every other note and then apply preset. Exit out of that. Let me see if it did it. I don't believe it did. Let's bring the play cursor back. Try it one more time. Go back to our MIDI logical editor. Oops. Apply preset. There we go. Every other note. Alright. Now that we've done that, whenever we come down here, bam. What I also love is it automatically colors the velocities that we're trying to change, which is every other note. So it's automatically changing the color of the other MIDI, so we know, hey, you know what? That's the ones that I changed the velocity on for every other note. And if you look, we come back down here. Let me see if it'll still do it. There's a little arrow thing. See? I can even do that to where it does all of them at once, which is kind of cool. So like we can bring that down. I love that. And there was no tutorial anywhere on YouTube that just showed this specifically. So I just want to put this out here in the YouTube universe for people that's trying to get into Cubase, and maybe you're struggling like, oh man, if I could just do that like I do in this other DAW, you can. You might have to go about it a different way, which was kind of stumping me at first, and I was getting frustrated because there's literally nothing on YouTube that just shows this specifically. And if we go back, so let me close out of that, close out of that. Right? And this is just something I just threw together, just for this tutorial, I guess. And yeah, that's pretty much it. Same thing, like when you want to program other stuff. I did want to show this. Let's say you want to copy these notes. You can actually hold the Alt key on your keyboard if you're on PC, and what it'll do is it'll bring up this little pencil tool. All you're gonna do is you're gonna click on these, and you just drop them wherever you need to, right? Do that. I'm gonna undo the duplicate. If I'm not mistaken, there is another way we can do this to where it'll just do the actual range. Anyways, that's the tutorial. I'll be back, like I said, with some more stuff with the step sequencer. It might call it a pattern editor. I forget what they call it in Cubase at the moment. And then I also want to go over like chord pads and how to do chords inside of Cubase, because it's actually a faster workflow than just doing the draw one note method like we're all used to inside of FL Studio. And then we're like, okay, this is a D minor, okay, and now I'm gonna come over here and then you're just doing like one note, one note, one note. You can do chords so much faster inside Cubase. You do chords so much faster inside of Studio One than just doing that. Super annoying, and also it'll save you time going forward. Alright, so again, I'll be back with some more tutorials, and we're just gonna keep going over different DAWs that aren't maybe the norm, right? The top 2 DAWs in the world for making beats right now is FL Studio and Ableton. There's people that's making bangers inside of DAWs that you guys probably have never heard of. So don't get stuck on, I have to use this because my favorite producer uses it. You need to focus more on what's going to get you to want to make beats, what's going to get you to want to make music, what's going to inspire you to keep going and not make you get into beat block, or not make you frustrated to where you want to quit and then you just kind of forget about it, right? We need people to make more good music. Without people like you, we're not going to have good music in the universe, okay? So keep grinding. Don't give up. There's always going to be somebody out there that's going to make you a tutorial, or going to make a post on Reddit, or one of the little blog sites, that they have for whatever specific DAW that you're looking to use, okay? All right, till then, peace out. Much love. Thanks for stopping by.